Hello, people. Welcome back to the DFL, and we are back here in in Japan for another belter of a race coming up. We hope you guys have just checked out the qualifying that we've just had. Yet another wet race qualifying, the second one in a row. I wonder how the drivers will take to that. But if you haven't watched it, do go ahead and give it a watch. Otherwise, you're going to get it spoiled. It's on your screen right now. Noah, yet again, proving why he's been the consistently best driver on the grid this season with a pole position, with Ian coming in second place, continuing his form and his consistent, how do you say, way of putting his car up in the top positions. And then you have some more shocking, let's say, calls at the bottom of the grid, with Jamie going all the way down into P16 and Callum even further below him down at P18. Those two have some serious work to do and serious recovery if they want to have a chance at recovering their positions and points in this race. Now, if you missed the events of the last race, Ian actually put his car in, I believe, was it third place down or second place? I think it was third place, wasn't it?
It was third place because Callum took second place with that
Just about, yeah, it was a
50-50 overtake.
Yeah, but he took third place, and the key thing for him there was that Jamie ended up not scoring any points, and thus he leapfrogged Jamie in the championship to now continue into P2 as Noah extended his lead out into P1. So it's going to be a cracker of a race today. I wonder how they're all going to fare. I wonder if Ian's going to get aggressive. He is chasing that long-awaited win that he's been after for such a long time now. He's had such a good rookie season as well, don't you think?
I really do. I was saying it in the qualifying, like, although Noah stormed that race, like, his AI just went on, like, I don't even know what to call it. Like, I was really happy to see Ian finally get that pole position, and, you know, that will be, like, as you know yourself, when you get that, it's a real confidence booster, and that just shows you that you can do this, and it makes you want it more, doesn't it?
I mean, absolutely. The more you perform, the better you see yourself doing. The better you want to keep on and, compound that lead. But here we go, as drivers are all lined up in the grid, are all ready, and we're already here in Japan. It's going to be a belt of a race. Let's see how aggressive Ian chooses to get, as it is 5 lights out and away we go. And both drivers at the front of the grid seem to have got a good start, with the kick sables on the back kind of kicking wide. Does Ian go for it? No, Noah's defended him really well, and he seems to have kept the lead. He's now two turns behind, as we have some major repositionings going on. Jamie and Callum both leapfrogging the grid, as Callum goes ahead of Jamie in this race. 12th place now up for Magic Turtles. Jamie drops back down to
What's happened to Jamie? 10-second penalty.
Yeah, what's happened there? We must have missed it in all the mayhem. There's been a major reshuffling of the grid, but Jamie being hit with a 10-second penalty. I wonder what happened. We'll have to take a look back at the replays maybe, but the big thing there is that Callum has leapfrogged all the way from 18th to 12th in the start. What a start it's been for him.
Honestly, that has probably been one of his best starts ever. I mean, he's climbing now into P10, just got the overtake on signs as well. He will be happy to be back in top 10, and he will go climbing and hopefully continue to climb to more points.
Absolutely. I wonder if we'll see a change in his strategy, whether he'll choose to go for a longish first stint. Are they all on the same tyres? I believe they're all on hards, isn't it, from the start of the race? So
no, they're all on different.
Yeah, so the leaders... Actually, Ian's gone for a soft in the first stint, so he's going to be recovering some pace on Noah. Maybe he thinks that he can extend that soft stint and then extend his gap out before the first round of pit stops. But we've seen Magic Turtle go for the typical hard strategy, which is probably the right decision, I would say. As Jamie, who's now progressing up the ladder even more, he's now up to 11th with Magic Turtle up to 9th. Jamie on the medium, so we'll have to see how he fares. Obviously, he'll have to serve that 10-second penalty in the grid box. As Magic Turtle goes for another overtake, is it? No,
that's Bortoletto. Back through me as well.
Yeah. Jamie climbs into 10th place now. He's a second and a half behind Magic Turtle. We'll have to see if Callum can defend the lead on Jamie for P9. It's been a great start for both our drivers who've been tasked with climbing up the grid, hasn't it?
It really has. I mean, Jamie may maybe not so much so having that 10-second time penalty. You know, that whether he. Oh, Callum went off a little bit there. That is Jamie gets the overtake there up to P9. But as I was saying, Jamie is either going to have to serve out him a pitch where that is going to be a major disadvantage, or that is going to be on him for the entire race. Even if, let's say, he gets up to P2 or even P1, he could seriously get knocked down if it's all close. But now Jamie going for an overtake on Colapinto, gets past Colapinto, so he's now up to P8. Will Callum do the same? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will have to see. They're all in a bit of a DRS train there, so I think when DRS been activated, I think it has, so we'll have to see if they can get past it. Callum just eats a bit too much curb there. But yeah, you're right, you're totally right, as Noah sets a new fastest lap for the race, and there's contact there between Colapinto and Magic Turtle. I wonder if that Kicks Alba's got any damage on it now. I thought I saw a bit of front wing shard, maybe that's of the Alpine, as the two Alpines are now fighting, they're going side by side with Gasly and Colapinto. But yeah, as you were saying, I think that's going to be a vital decision in this whole race. The steward choosing to give Jamie that 10-second penalty. Must have missed the collision that he had with Colapinto to get him that penalty in the first place. But he's really going to have to work hard to extend his lead enough so that when he gets hit with the penalty, likely during his pit stop or after the race, that he maintains a decent enough position to retain points. If you're in Jamie's position, you don't want Ian to solidify another P2 further ahead of him and extend his lead for P2. And for Ian, I mean, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. Just put the car where it needs to be. He's 2.4 seconds behind. He's chasing, but he's also being stable. You know, he's putting in the good laps. He's making sure Sonoda in P3 behind him doesn't catch him. As we saw in the last race, Piastri gave the two drivers battling it up for P3 a bit of a run for their money and threw a spanner in the works there. He's making sure that mistake isn't repeated. So you can see he's progressing. He's learning. He's figuring out when and when not to chase and when not to put his foot down on the gas, isn't it?
Very true, but could we say potentially it might be a mistake to go on softs? I mean, currently, you know, Ian is on the faster tyre, yet Noah is just putting fastest lap after fastest lap. He is now 2.4 seconds ahead of Ian. He's giving no room at all to Ian. He's saying, well, unless you want to put in the work and actually catch up to me, I'm not making this easy for you. You've got to put your foot to the ground and catch up. Otherwise, you got no chance. But just dipping down a second now, Callum is now up to P7. I see him and Jamie are going backwards and forwards. I remember you mentioned about why Jamie got the penalty. Neither of us saw anything, but I did see a message saying something about potentially a dodgy overtake by Jamie and having to give the position back to Bortoleto, and because he didn't give the position back fast enough, he got the 10-second penalty. So Jamie will be a bit annoyed about that, but Jamie now going round the outside of Callum to get back up to P7. This is going to be the battle of today, I think, with Noah and Ian so separated. I think this will be the battle to concentrate on.
Absolutely, and I think Callum shouldn't focus so much on getting track position here, because he knows that he's net in front of Jamie by a long way with that 10-second penalty. If I was him, I wouldn't care. I'd say, you know what, have that position. I'm going to have my... He goes off. Oh, is he spun? He's out. He's out, and Jamie's crashed out. He's out of the race. And Magic Turtle benefits significantly from this. No more pressure on him.
That's a safety car. It's a safety car.
Oh my word, that is throwing a right spanner in the works. What are we seeing here in Suzuka in the first 5 laps? As Jamie takes yet another early exit. That's 2-2 now. And he'll be disappointed. And this, again, dare I say it, is just played right into Ian's hands to extend his lead out in that championship once again.
Also, the fact is, Ian is the only one who was pitted. Noah's not pitted, Callum hasn't, no AIs have pitted. Ian's the only one.
He is. I wonder if he was his hand was kind of forced into doing that because of the fact that he was on that soft tyre to begin with, and he was probably experiencing some of that deg already with Noah on the mediums putting in the fastest times. But you have to say, has it played into his hands? If the safety car doesn't extend for another lap and they get going soon and the other drivers don't pit, he's just got a free pit stop, a cheaper pit stop. He's saved, 10 seconds there on a pit stop, because it's under safety car conditions. I mean, it could be perfectly working out for Noah here. No, not Noah. I beg your
Three.
pardon, Ian here.
The thing though is obviously now Ian's had to go on the hard tyres. If Noah can extend those mediums to, if he can extend them to at least I'd say lap 13, 14, with that proper tyre management, it would take exceptional tyre management. But if he can, he goes on the softs. I mean, that's surely it with the pace Noah has.
I think before we could have said that the fight between Callum and Jamie was the fight to see, but Jamie's crash out there is just completely throwing everything into the mix. I mean, you have Callum now all the way up in P6, and in with the rest of them in terms of he's not pitted yet either. You have Ian who's chosen to pit and take his pit stop cheap, but as you say, if Noah can have an extended first stint, his softs in the second stint could benefit him later on in the race. But I will say that the undercut does seem powerful. If Ian is benefiting from this, he's pitted early, so he's had a soft stint. He's benefited from the safety car brought out by Jamie. He's pitted early.
Oh, Noah's pitted.
There it is. He had to do it. I do think he had to do this. Otherwise, he would have been at threat from the undercut. But now, is he going to come out behind Ian now? Because of the safety car conditions, because of the fact that now all bunched up, I would assume that Ian is out ahead. Yes, he is. And now Noah's dropped. And do you see what I mean by he's benefited by the cheap pit stop? Noah's hand was forced. He had to pit. If he didn't pit, he would have lost 10 seconds to Ian just on pits alone. And because he pitted late, he didn't go in first because he had track position. Ian's benefited and he's now ahead. And obviously, they will be bunched up because it's a safety car. But the fight is all on here at the back of the grid. And Magic Turtle, what do you make of that? He's now benefited. He obviously still does have to pit himself as well. Can he now be the one to extend his first stint?
He could. I mean, being on the hards, those will survive until surely like a lap 15, at which you go on the softs, and Noah and Ian are forced on to the hards now. And yes, once they're warmed up and stuff, they are quick, but they're not as quick as the softs. Like, Callum, if he timed his pit stop perfectly to the second, like, it could play out very well here. We could see a brilliant battle towards the end. I don't know about you, but I cannot pick a winner at this moment. Everyone has a card to play in this. And I discussed it in qualifying actually. This is exactly why I am trying to change the day of recording for what we do. Because then we can get Callum in more. And let's say even if someone like Jamie or someone else goes out, you still have 3 drivers who could prove something. And here we go, safety car is in this lap, but it's much better than 2 drivers. Now we have a potential 3-way battle with a complete cloud of mystery of who could win this.
Absolutely, as the safety car is in this lap, I think Magic Turtle will just look to extend his stint out. He's got to just put his head down. He doesn't need to overtake the AIs so fast. Obviously, he'd like to overtake them ASAP, but he doesn't have to. There's no one in front of him for him to chase in terms of our drivers. So he just needs to get his head down and go for the overtakes. As he's going for it already. Is he? Yes, he is. And he's gotten it done. Is it? Oh, just a bit of contact? No, he's giving it back because it's not legal. I think it was just under that safety car condition still. But he's giving it back now, and he's gone back up into P4 as he overtakes Alonso, and he goes after George Russell. But as I was saying, he doesn't have to go after those AIs straight away. As we now go down into the bottom of the grid, having a look at this fight between Ian and Noah. Ian's going to be looking to hold off Noah for as long as possible. Mind you, the longer these two battle, the more and more Magic Turtle will benefit, because he's able to just focus on his race against the AIs, which are relatively easier to overtake than our 2 drivers down at the bottom of the grid. So the longer these 2 stay fighting, the less time they're spending overtaking the AIs in front of them, who are also, mind you, in a DRS train. And the more time Magic Turtle can overtake, as he's now overtaken Russell, and he goes into the podium places. From a man who started P18, he is now taken everything by the scruff of the neck, and he's now rolling in P3. Of course, he is yet to pit, as Ian now makes an overtake on Isaac Hadjar. Noah is now 3/10 behind Isaac Hadjar, as his pace starting to go down a little bit. Or maybe those hards just aren't quite warm enough yet, due to the 1 lap less of warming up time he had compared to Ian, who ended up pitting first. I mean, I'm with you, Dan. I literally can't pick a winner here.
I generally think if anyone has a slight disadvantage here, it's Noah. Because Noah is a very fast driver, as we both know. But because of this, he cannot deal, or as I say that, as he gets the overtake on Hadjar and Ian gets the overtake on Stroll. Both of them making their way up now, but Noah cannot deal with slow drivers. He gets so annoyed, and it causes him to not make mistakes, but like slight errors, like braking too late or something like that, something that just catches him off guard. So these AIs, I think if it's going to catch anyone out, it's going to be Noah, which will massively work to Ian's advantage. I mean, as you say, Callum up in P3 now, currently doesn't look to be catching up on Hamilton. Does have to pit, but if the grid eventually splits out, how long can he survive on those hards? Again, lap 14, I generally think lap 14 will be his pit. If not, later, but as you can see with Noah now, he's having to take that wide angle because he's just going too quick. He cannot deal with slow drivers.
And Ian is using his advantage to its full extent, as he should be. He's now overtaken the McLaren of Lando Norris, and he goes after Piastri. He's all over the gearbox of that McLaren, as Noah looked to do the same against Norris. But these guys need to be fighting their way up the order, whilst also, for example, mainly and there's big contact there between Magic Turtle and Hamilton. I wonder who has the more weighting of the damage. I would think it's Hamilton, who looked to go to the side of Magic Turtle, but not quite sure what happened there. As Magic Turtle does get the move done, he's up into P2. He's 1.7 seconds behind Tsunoda and chasing. Let's see what he can do before his first pit stop. He needs as much time as he can get in front of those two drivers, but they are now going up the order, Ian and Noah. Noah has now actually dropped 2 places behind Ian, 3 places even. He's now in 17th. He's not able to overtake Norris yet, as Ian was able to overtake Piastri. I fear that what you've been saying about the slowness of the drivers ahead of him is coming true about Noah, but let's see what he can do. We know better than to count him out of this race.
Very true, very true. I don't know, this has to be Ian's time just to get up the field. I mean, you can see it right there. Like, every time, Noah's just having to go a bit wide, to control his braking, because he's so used to braking late into corners, so that he can get that easy overtake. He gets the overtake on Norris there. Well done to Noah. But because of that, it gives him a major disadvantage in this. And I don't know, there's so many things that could go wrong due to it. But now Ian out in 13th, ahead of Lawson, currently 1.9 seconds off of Behrman. He will have trouble from the guys behind, because he is now leader of the DRS train, which will be massively a disadvantage to him. However, those seconds are closing down. He is after his teammate, Behrman. That's the thing, that's why he switched AIs. Clearly Ocon wasn't good enough. But he's after Behrman now, and he will not stop until he gets up there. Speaking of catching up, I will say Callum is now catching up 1.2 seconds off of Tsunoda. It looks like he might be going for an overtake very soon. But speaking of overtakes, Noah is 0.2 seconds off of Lawson, but he just cannot get ahead of Lawson. If he does though, Ian, being out of that DRS, I think Ian seriously needs to get into that DRS range whilst Noah's behind Lawson, because as soon as Noah's ahead of Lawson, that's it. But we did just see Ian slightly go off there, which puts him down to now 2 seconds. He's gone slightly off again. This is majorly working to Ian's disadvantage here. Ian needs to keep it cool, calm and collected. He has 9 laps left. It's going to be close, that's all I can say now. But Noah going for the overtake, going round the inside of Lawson. Does he make it stick? I think he has. Well done to Noah. However, if we just have a look up, Callum is gaining on Tsunoda.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there was actually a moment there, because whilst we were talking about the scrap between Ian and Noah, there was a period of time where his initial gap of 1.4 became like 0.2 or 0.3. He must have had a snap of oversteer or something, because he dropped back to 0.13. Now he's closed that gap yet again to 0.5. So let's see if he can get the overtake done here, as the DRS opens up, he looks to go down the inside. He might have a look. Oh no, he said, "Oh, contact!" And that's big contact. They come together, and that might be something for the stewards to have a little look at. But they do come together. But Magic Turtle from P18 takes the lead of this race. What do you think of that, Dan?
I mean, a brilliant recovery by Callum, but the disadvantage to him is he still has to pit, and that closeness from everyone is just a major disadvantage. However, I'm going to ignore Callum for a minute because right on the arse of Ian is Noah at the moment. I mean, Noah's just looking for that overtake. He wants it, but Ian is within DRS range, so Noah will not get that advantage. However, Noah, again, significantly quick. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I think the longer Magic Turtle stays out without pitting, the more of a disservice he's doing to himself. Currently, Gasly is 14 seconds behind Norris, and everybody above him is in a DRS train-ish, there or thereabouts. Now, everybody from P9 upwards has to pit. So technically speaking, as it stands, Ian is net first place. Because if Callum pits, he will come out behind Noah. He might also come out behind Lawson and Norris. But he will still have made like 12, 13 positions.
Everyone's pitting now, which means, as you say, Ian and Noah's going to rise up here.
Absolutely. And again, Callum, he's doing himself a disservice by not pitting. He needs to pit soon, I think within the next sort of 2 laps, because you can see now the gap is only 10 seconds. And unless another safety car comes out, you're not going to get a pit stop for 10 seconds. You'll get it for like 15, 20 seconds. So we'll have to see what happens here. But I believe he might come out somewhere in between Noah and Tsunoda, who's another 12 seconds behind Noah. Noah now all over the gearbox of Ian. He's had a really good recovery drive, as we were speaking of him struggling to get past the back markers. He's now done that, and he's only 3 tenths, behind behind Ian. We'll have to see if he can get the job done on that home straight. Or maybe he'll get it done before that, as they go really close to each other, 1/10.5 between the two drivers. Ooh. Is he going for it now? No, he's not. A little bit too far behind. But if he can keep this next corner tight, there might be a chance. There might be a chance to have the overtake done on the home straight. We'll have to see as they pass the DRS detection point very, very soon. He is only 3 tenths behind. He's gone wide, and Noah's trying to take advantage. Is he going to be able to do it? They're side by side, neck and neck. Neither one is willing to give up. Who's going to break the latest? It is going to be Ian. Is it? No, they're still side by side. Has Noah got the job done? Looks to be so. He has. What an overtake as we get Magic Turtle with a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's all going on here in Japan.
We don't even have pit assists off. So that is Callum's own doing there for turning pit assists off. He could have avoided that penalty entirely, but he's turned the assist off and he's suffered for it majorly.
My goodness, I mean, what have we not seen? I thought it was going to be a bit more of a conventional race, this one, but it's been anything but. We've had a safety car, we've had penalties, we've had now a speeding in the pit lane penalty, overtakes, undercuts. Ian, I think, did a really good job to get ahead of Noah, but just wasn't able to hold him off. The pressure that comes with someone like Noah chasing you is just proving to be a little bit too much for Ian yet again. We'll have to see if he can...
actually, hold on a minute. Look at the left side of his wing. There is damage. His left side don't have a thing on.
I think it does, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, the end plate's there, look.
Look, on the left side there. Look, there's nothing. They're standing up it.
Oh, wow, the right wing plate is gone. Wow, maybe that's what we've been seeing in that case. Let's put a real spin on things. He's going to have to hold out and hope that he doesn't close that gap between himself and Tsunoda and keep out for the P2. I wonder why he picked up that message.
I don't know, but that is really unfortunate because I was generally thinking this was Ian's day today, like, you know, and it's just he's been stuck with this unluckiness of damage to the front wing. That win just evades him, it seems like.
he'll get it. He's a very good driver. He keeps on pushing. He doesn't give up, and he puts his car where he needs to put it. And I think I can see a win coming his way in the near future.
I definitely 100%. But now Callum gaining on Tsunoda. I mean, that 10-second penalty, he won't pit again. So that's going to last until the end of the race.
I mean, what happened there? Speeding in the pit there, Callum. Unforgivable.
Very true, very true. Yeah, but you have to feel bad for him. I mean,
Definitely.
again, he's done it to himself. But at the end of the day, if he just kept his speed under control, then he would hold that P4 position, and I reckon he'd be right. He'd gain on Jamie. He'd probably be near overtaking Jamie, like in the championship.
No, definitely. I mean, I think he's been really good this race. He had a very good opportunity to get a podium place, because if he gets this overtake on Tsunoda, and imagine he didn't have that penalty, do you know what I mean? But I think, has he pit? He did definitely pit. That's how he got the penalty. Yeah. I just think he had a chance here for a podium, but unfortunately, I mean, it happens to the best of us. It is what it is. It happens. He'll have to just go again next time and hope that sort of thing doesn't happen again. Be a bit more aware to it. But it's still nevertheless been such a great drive. Just track position wise, it's been such a great drive from him. A resilient one at that. Starting all the way back in P18 after a less than optimal quali, to then come back and put himself up this far up the grid with just overtake after overtake in the first half of the race, to then making the best of the safety car and other conditions that were out of his control in this race. He's just put his car everywhere he needs to be. Unfortunate to get the penalty, but still nevertheless been a great drive from him.
Very true, very true. And it's only his third race in Season 5. And now, again, with our scheduling changes on recording day, potentially he will appear more in this season. I mean, we've only got 9 races left of the season, but don't count the guy out. I'm not saying he can go and get first in the championship, because I don't know, unless there's a miracle, I'm not sure that can happen anymore. But he can still get quite high up, potentially beat Jamie, potentially just beat Ian as well. Who knows, we'll have to see what happens here. But we've got 4 laps left of this race. I hope you have all enjoyed this race. I know Jamie might not have due to what happened, but nevertheless now, Noah is just once again storming ahead. 6.4 seconds. How does he do it? He's unstoppable.
Yeah, he's been so consistent throughout the whole season, and it's almost like you kind of come to expect this kind of performance from him nowadays, even though it's such a good performance objectively. You just think this is his norm. This is what he does every Tuesday now. I mean, this is just what he does, So it's been such a good performance from him yet again. He drove like he almost had zero pressure on him when he was chasing Ian, who did do a successful undercut on him, and Ian probably did have the better of the strategies going into the safety car, but he made such a good decision in just waiting and waiting and waiting for the best opportunity to attack, rather than just mindlessly attacking when the opportunity doesn't necessarily present itself. And it's going to pay off again. Dividends are going to pay off again. He's going to get another 25 points. Who holds the current fastest lap? I believe it is still Noah, is it not? So he might get an extra point there as well.
Oh, actually, that's a fair point.
Going back down to Jamie's. Oh no, it's Tsunoda who's got the fastest lap. There you go.
Oh, I just want to bring something up. Currently, Tsunoda holding a 132.1157. That is the current fastest lap in Japan. It hasn't beaten it, but it's a 132.072 by Harry. It's close. It's not there, but it's close. It's getting there.
It's a stellar lap from Tsunoda to get that kind of the fastest lap. But we'll see if he can, or if he or anyone else can beat it. But I was saying about Jamie's race, as you were saying earlier. I think he'll be the major, that will be the major disappointment for him. Now with Ian potentially securing this P2 now, that's going to give him another 18 points. He's sat on 76 currently. That's going to take him to 94 points, and Jamie's going to stay on 67 points. So we'll have to see. And who's fourth place? I believe it's Norris. Yes, it's Norris. Who's actually not going to pick up any points, so he's lucky there. But he's just losing out on points and points, and there's going to be a point where is there going to be too much of a gap for him to claw back to get P2 in the championship if that's what he's going for?
I'm not very good at maths, so I cannot tell you at what point it will get like that, but at some point it will become a case that the only way he can catch up is if Noah somehow DNFs a bunch of races, which I don't know about you, but I don't see happening, to be honest. Obviously, you know, who knows? I mean, touch wood, it doesn't happen, obviously, you know, we don't want to see anyone DNF. But if it did happen, miracles have happened before for Jamie, but I just, you know, him retiring in some races, him DNFing in others, it is an unlucky spell, and it just doesn't seem to be his season. I'm not saying he can't do it, but with the consistency Noah is showing now, it's difficult to argue otherwise, isn't it? And, I mean, at this point, I just want to twist the conversation to elsewhere now. I mentioned last time we were on here, obviously yesterday for us, last week for the for you viewers. For season 6, I'm potentially thinking about stepping it back up. I have a list of about maybe 10 to 12 drivers who I could, maybe more to add in, who are on another level. But when you look, and obviously people have said, oh, I'm not too sure, like, maybe not, I don't know, but when you look at it now, with Noah being consistent every race, you know, is it time to step this league up? Because if you do, again, that only challenges the drivers to improve if they want to. And I feel like if they really want to, they will.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it'll be about drive and the motivation to want to compete, despite knowing that the competitors ahead of you are potentially ahead of you on the curve right now, and you want to bring yourself up that curve. Competition breeds success, it breeds improvement, it breeds just motivation, you know? And at times it can get disheartening, but you could say the same now about drivers like Ian and Jamie, seeing Noah just consistently get P1 and P2, but Ian still gets up and he still fights every race. And Jamie, I know he's going through a bit of a dry spell right now, but I back him to get out of it. And I think he will get out of it, because both of these drivers, and Callum included, they all just want to fight. So I think whether you choose to step it up or not, these drivers are going to fight. And I think they'll give it everything they've got to improve and to keep their position on that curb, if not go higher up on it. As we now approach the final lap, and Noah will be rounding it off very, very soon. He's going into Sector 2 now. I mean, just what a stellar drive it's been from him. Once again, feels like we're going through the same things. I'm almost running out of things to say as a commentator, because I feel like I'm using the same things every race. But he just has been very, very good, hasn't he? And he's just proven once again why he's so far ahead of everybody else in this league, and why he is currently leading in P1. He's doing that Mercedes badge proud, I can say, as a Mercedes fan myself.
Ex-Mercedes driver as well.
Exactly. So call it biased if you will, but I don't care. I think he's doing fantastic. And it's so good to watch him as he sets a purple Sector 2 going into his final lap. As he comes around the penultimate corner, it's going to round off a brilliant Japanese Grand Prix, and yet another victory for him as Noah comes around the final corner and wins the Japanese Grand Prix and takes the fastest lap with it. Has that beaten? No, he hasn't beaten the lap record. That was a 1:31, wasn't it? But still, he's taken.
No, it wasn't. Fastest lap record is a 1:32.072. So
he did beat it.
Noah is a 4-time lap record holder. Not lap, but DFL record holder.
Wow. Just as I was saying, how he's so consistent every race, he's topped it off with the fastest lap. What a race for him.
And here we are with the podium people. Noah, the new holder of the fastest lap record in Japan, taking P1. You have Ian to his left in P2. A brilliant drive by Ian. Unfortunate with the damage he had. And Yuki Tsunoda sticking it in P3. That would be good for Red Bull to actually get some points here today. And someone on the podium. But nevertheless, people, what a great race it has been. And Noah's dominance continues. How long can this go on, people? Yeah, who knows? How long till we see an Ian win? And here we are with the podium, people. And as you can see, the new fastest lap record right there, 132.010. Noah now holds that. Ian in P2. Callum in P10 does make the point, even with a 10-second penalty. He lands himself in P10. A brilliant drive by Callum today. And unfortunately, Jamie DNF. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, guys.